Well, I don't know if there's going to be an October event. There still haven't been invites yet. We go back like crazy people and do these in-depth researches of when exactly does Apple send out the invites before an event takes place. You know, back in 2016, they didn't send out the invites until 1 week before the event took place. So we still could get invites in the upcoming days. Maybe you're watching this and they've already sent out the invites and I just look like a doofus. Okay, I don't know. But what I do know is Apple has things in the works. We got a couple of leaks for upcoming products. Tim Cook's favorite words, products. And I'll be detailing you the good news, the bad news, and the worst bad news. Let's begin. First thing I want to talk about is something I'd like, which is the new AirPods Pro, which has a name now, which is AirPods Pro. This report comes from China Economic Daily, which I'm probably mispronouncing like most things on this channel. However, they do have a fairly consistent track record. It's not super reliable like Bloomberg or Quo, but they're saying that this next generation of AirPods is going to be separate from the current generation we have by giving them that Pro suffix like the more recent iPhones. So they basically heard everybody's complaints, hey, stop using the word Pro, it's overused. It doesn't work, we don't like it, and said, screw all of you, we're putting Pro on the AirPods now. Pro all the things. I can't wait for Lightning to headphone jack Pro. And it's made of metal. That's what separates it. Also, the new AirPods are reportedly going to be featuring this new design footprint, which we've talked about in the past, but they're also saying it's supposed to adopt a metal design, opposed to the white plastic we've been used to on AirPods for 4 years, because plastic drooling out of your ears is always the best way to flex on them broke boys. But now that we're getting a metal design, I think we'll be able to flex even harder. This in particular, I'm looking forward to because I enjoy having higher quality materials in my headphones, but they also have a functional purpose as well, and it's reportedly supposed to help with heat dissipation. So obviously when you're listening to Kelly Clarkson's fight song at full blast, those babies are gonna get hot in your ears, so they had to make the metal, that way the heat would dissipate appropriately. The not so great news is that is coming with a price jump. However, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. This reporter is saying that these AirPods Pro are going to start at $260. I say start because I don't know, there might be some 1 terabyte of RAM option. It's Apple, you never know at this point. But my main hope is that since there's a change in material, maybe we could get some updates in colors, because having a bit more diversity with the lineup of AirPod colors would help people feel like you could noticeably buy an upgraded one and people could physically tell that you're rich enough to afford the new generation. Quo said earlier this year this might come with like a minor refresh to the regular AirPods for the people who don't like the in-ear noise cancellation design. Some people just want the basic broke pods that allow you to hear your surroundings and not do noise cancellation. They may come with a battery booster, sound quality boost, or something like that. We don't know for sure. This report specifically just wanted to talk about AirPods Pro, which of course now have a name. We can stop calling them AirPods 3 unless Apple unveils them and that's what they're called. Probably not though. Now moving on to the not so fun news, which is we got an icon within macOS Catalina, which has been the most well-received version of macOS, I think, of all time. And it's very easy to blink and miss it, but there's an icon that reportedly is the new MacBook Pro design. It was not in there before, it was recently added, and the model number it has attached to it is not for any current 2019 MacBook Pro that Apple sells. And if you hold it up to the current icon for the 15-inch MacBook Pro, you will see that there is 0.0001 inch difference in these bezels, and that's how we know this is the next generation MacBook. Yet throw away all those concepts of thin bezel designs and uniform bezels all the way around the next gen MacBook, or some of you wanted curved corners on the Mac. Throw all that out because it turns out the 16-inch MacBook Pro, it's not going to have a uniform bezel. Those side ones are just going to get slightly slimmer, and it's still going to have a forehead just like the last generation, which I find is a huge disappointment. There's a lot of people out there that just want a functional MacBook upgrade, which we already had a couple months ago, so I don't know why you're wanting more, but Apple decided, look, we need to stretch out this screen just a tad bit more, but we're not going to give it, you know, the minimal bezel treatment like we did our $5,000 XDR display, because a ton of people are going to buy that, right? No, when it comes to the MacBook Pro, we want to just make it look slightly different, because everyone's used to calling it a 15-inch MacBook Pro. Let's change it to 16-inch MacBook Pro without trying too hard. And the other talk of the town is that this might have its own dedicated escape key on the keyboard, because if you look down, you can see a little bit of a gap compared to the 15-inch icon, which doesn't have a gap on the oh, screw me. What is my life? You guys just enjoy. I'm not talking about this anymore. I'm done. Screw you. I hate this now. I gotta pay some bills here. It's too awkward of an angle on this picture to tell if this is the scissor key mechanism, but Quo, who has a fairly reliable track record, has said that this generation, the 16-inch MacBook Pro, will be rocking scissor keys because the butterfly keyboard was such a horrible train wreck. Too many people eating Cheez-Its while using their MacBook and all the crumbs would get stuck underneath and then break. That's a joke, by the way. I understand. It's sticky for everybody. But I'm confused by the escape key leak because, as stupid as it sounds, yes, I do see the little gap on the keyboard there, which makes me wonder if they're redesigning the keyboard to a certain extent to sport a physical escape key, which is somehow highly requested. You guys know you can get the escape key at any time, right? On the touch bar. It's still there. It doesn't make the clicky sound, but it's there. You can use it. No, whatever. It's not as satisfying. Why don't you guys get that giant external escape key button? It's like the size of a pillow and you can just smack it whenever you want to force quit, you know, Safari when it freezes up. I'm not sure, but I definitely know that the way the touch bar looks with the butterfly keyboard is very uniform. So if Apple adopts a butterfly key mechanism, that would definitely mean the touch bar would stand out a little bit. So maybe the 16-inch MacBook Pro doesn't have a touch bar and Apple's just completely admitting, you know, we're sorry. We thought this was a good idea. It turns out it's not, and they just come out on stage and unveil the next chunk MacBook and it's got a VGA port on the side. We're gonna give everyone their ports back, but no, this design hidden within macOS does confirm that the 16-inch MacBook Pro is going to be a very, very small, tiny design difference. Slightly slimmer bezels, maybe the body even is a little bit thicker, but I think most people who are MacBook Pro users would be okay with that as long as they get better cooling, they get physical escape key, which people like, and if there's no touch bar, maybe they can provide some pretty decent specs in a more affordable package, but it's Apple, so don't get your hopes too high because it's most likely going to start at $3,000, and who knows, maybe they'll even remove the headphone jack on this one. Probably still going to be rocking a potato webcam as well, which makes for a great automated GIF machine, but yeah, no Face ID sensors, which I was really hoping for, and no uniform bezel design to kind of match where iPads and iPhones are going, which I just ask why. If you're just going to slim the bezels a little bit and not really give it the overhaul treatment, why not just keep the old design? Why make all these people in factories have to buy out new panels and change the assembly process just because you wanted the screen to be slightly bigger, but the design to remain practically the same? I don't know. That's what I got for you today. Let me know what you think of it by hitting me up over on Twitter or joining our Discord. And if you are upset with anything I said in today's video, I highly request that you make a follow-up video in the form of a Minecraft Let's Play where you can directly respond to me with your criticisms. I'll be sure to stop by and subscribe to your channel. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you guys in the next one.